Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Welcome to Wager Talk Today. Lawrence Presman here. Teddy Covers with us. A big show. Marco D'Angelo joining us. First, we're going to take apart the NFL game tonight, plus a couple of baseball games. Andrew McGinnis as well. We're going to delve into the hockey game tonight. Lots of prop bets, too, for all of you guys. And, of course, at the end of the show, Ralph Michaels. But first, Teddy Covers, I love you, man. What's up?
You're in a good mood today, Lawrence.
That's only because I'm not in as bad a mood as you.
I'm so pissed off today. I won every game this weekend but my 5%ers. I had 2 5%ers, one Saturday, one Sunday. I lost them both in the last minute, and I lost them both on defense. And this is my question to you. When you have a one-score game, all right, you need one score to cover. Would you rather be on offense and you need the score to cover, or on defense and you have to stop them in order to cover?
Oh, yeah, I mean, listen, interesting question, but I need more information. Is the back door wide open or is it not? Are they, if I'm up by 21 and I'm at minus 15, I'm not covering if I'm on defense. But I mean, an interesting question. I don't know the answer to that question. All I know is that if you watch me watch football, I'm a heart attack waiting to happen.
I can't watch you watch football. Watching you watch football takes years off my life.
Yeah, no, and I understand, dude. It's crazy. I can't, I lose my crap, bro, watching football. I tweeted out yesterday my setup. I had 4 games going at once. Oh, my God, what a day. Brother, we got a jam-packed show. Let's get straight into the 6 Bs. I'll hand it over to you, Teddy.
Sure. Bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books. There is a ton to talk about. There was so much drama yesterday when it came to point spreads and totals. I mean, Leonard Fournette, he's trying to get a first down. He gets a first down. The Bucs take a knee. Instead, he breaks tackles, marches to the end zone, 46-yard touchdown run. That equals Tampa and over instead of Carolina and under. That's a pretty big swing. Broncos money line right there at the end. That doesn't come in. The Falcons money line doesn't come in. Dallas was 25-1 at one point to win that ball game. So certainly, though Atlanta, at least this time when the Falcons blew their big lead, they still covered the point spread, but not the money line yesterday. So let's see. The Jets get the late meaningless touchdown. Oops, that equals over instead of under. The Dolphins get a last-minute TD. That equals Fins plus instead of the Bills minus. Cairo Santos for the Bears misses a field goal. That means the Giants get the money. Washington, Arizona total stays under after they kick a field goal on the final drive. And Rivera doesn't use any of his timeouts in the last 2.5 minutes of a 2-score game. The Baltimore-Houston total pushes at 49. Many books at 49.5. That was down from 52.5 early in the week. The Ravens settle for 3 on their last drive, and Harbaugh went for it on 4th down from his own 36, up 14 with 6 to play. If you had the over in that game, you were really hoping he was going to miss. That was the right call, but a pretty intense finish. And, of course, you want to talk about bad for the books. Make no mistake about it. Yesterday was an ugly day for many sports books here in Las Vegas and across the country. KC stealing that win means all the big favorites won. That means all the chalk money line parlays hit. All the teasers, too. In fact, favorites went 14-1 straight up yesterday, and the only loser was the Eagles, who were a dog earlier in the week. The Chiefs winning was bad for the books that cashed all the teasers and all the money line parlays. That Green Bay Detroit total goes from 46 to 51, and it flies over. Huge move there. Bettors got that right. KC LA, that total went from 50 down to 47, stayed under even with overtime. The Jags, everybody of the Jags yesterday, plus a 10.5 down to plus 6.5, moving through the key numbers of 10 and 7. Minshew rallies them back, and they get in under the number. The Niners covered, the Packers covered, the Ravens covered, all popular in parlays, popular in money lines, bad public teams for the books. And, of course, to see the Seahawks and over to close out the night, that was about the worst result books could have had on Sunday Night Football. Tons of parlay liability cashes, all the public favorite and over parlays cash. It was not a good day for the house on Sunday. It was a good day, however, for many bettors.
Especially Rob Vino, Teddy. I want to give him a shout out. My God. You come on Wager Talk today, you end up winning. You notice the guy went 7-0. 7-0 in the NFL. So a big shout out to Rob Vino. I just want to make a quick mention. I'll be doing it a couple of times throughout the show. It's $9 Monday at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Anybody's plays, only $9. And if you're a first-time buyer, you get an extra $25 of wager bucks added to your account. You can use that at both Sports Memo and Wager Talk. So you can sign up at Sports Memo, buy a $9 guy, sign up at Wager Talk, buy a $9 guy, and then you get $50 in wager bucks. Great promotion. Teddy, Kanye West Award and the Rick Alec Award. It has been named that. We'll explain why in a sec. And the Kanye West Award goes to the Atlanta Falcons. It's really quite amazing. One of our listeners just put in Atlanta Falcons bad beat of all time. Well, I mean, they covered the spread, so we're not going to worry about whether their record is 0-2 or 1-1. Could care less. But I will say this, dude. Dan Quinn, it's time for him to go. You and I spoke about this last night. Him and the special teams coach should be on a bus right now.
Yeah, to watch that ball bouncing around, waiting to get to 10 yards with the Falcons players literally standing up and looking at it, it's brutal to watch. All that said, I don't know what everyone's complaining about. They covered the point spread.
Well, that's what I just said.
You lose another game. Give Dan Quinn, at least this time. Remember, in the Super Bowl, they didn't cover it when all was said and done. Even at plus 3.5, they didn't cover it when all was said and done. Different story here. They got the money. Who's complaining about the Falcons?
Yeah, Rick Alec Award. This goes to the most amazing thing because Rick Alec is just simply amazing. He's the one that named the award, so we're just going to go with it. Teddy, Anthony Davis, what a shot. Plus more. Talk to me.
Sure. I mean, we could have called this a bad beat if you had the Nuggets on the money line at plus 250 or plus 260 last night. Once again, Denver playing their best basketball when trailing by double digits in the second half. And with the lead and a chance to steal game two, and Anthony Davis buries the contested three at the buzzer. An impressive shot. What's even more impressive, Anthony Davis has now done that 14 times. He's 14 of 29 on game tires / game winners in the final 24 seconds. Nobody else in the NBA is better than that. So when it comes to clutch, yeah, that was a crazy shot and he nailed it. Anthony Davis has done that a lot. That's why we give him the Rick Alec Award for yesterday. And again, if you had Denver on the money line, ouch. Hope you took him plus the points as well.
I want to welcome a bunch of guys into the posting forum. Chance, how are you? The Sports Group Vegas, always great to see you. Philip Rosal, Talisman, Frank Budd, lots of love. Repulate Gaming, Gordon Mathers. So many guys, Teddy, 147 currently watching us. We're going to break 300 today. Jamal Frizz Allen, nice name. Mike Campbell. Panda Dustin's got a lot of love for you, Teddy. He writes, you made me a lot of money this week with your tips. And he talks about your body language, Teddy. When you're talking about a game on Wager Talk Today, he's using your body language to decide how much you actually like that game. So that's pretty cool. Jordan Kane, what's up? Joe Money, Robert McIntosh, Davy Jones, and on and on and on. Boys, let's take a quick break. Marco D'Angelo, NFL Monday coming up.
known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers best bet or daily package for only $2.
Teddy, you're getting a ton of love today, dude. I know you woke up at 4 a.m. Your wife forgot to turn the ringer off. I know you're dour and sour, but if it means anything, you're getting a lot of shout outs in the chat room. 10-0 to you to me.
Listen, thank you. I appreciate that. I try on this show. I try on every show that I do. I want to give out good info. We want to do it in a timely fashion. I'm really frustrated today. Really frustrated. And I'm overtired. And I'm a little bit grumpy. And Prez keeps calling the chat a posting forum. But even with all of that, I appreciate the thanks. Thank you. I'll do my best to keep it going this week.
Marco D'Angelo, my partner in crime. Brother, I got to start the show by saying, because we haven't spoken yet, last Monday you got on here, you literally predicted that Pittsburgh would win by 10. For the same geniusness from you tonight.
Well, I set the bar pretty high, but that last little segment there when you were talking about the voting 10-0 to Teddy, you almost sounded like LeBron. Are you questioning the system and how the votes go? Because how else could that vote have gone?
Yeah, okay, well, so with all that said, go ahead.
I was going to say, think about how LeBron played after he got stiffed for the MVP. If I got a 10-0 lead on Prez, you got to be super motivated for the rest of the show.
Yeah, no, Teddy, I'm all about you, baby. I'm good. You know me. I have no arrogance, no narcissism. I'm just namaste. Namaste. Marco, let's go. New Orleans minus 5.5. Total of 48.5. Take this game apart for.
Well, guys, obviously it's the opening of the new stadium. There's going to be a lot of buzz with people looking to play the home dog in the Raiders. So we saw in this town what we had with the Vegas Golden Knights when they opened up. So as a professional bettor, we're going to try to find the spots where we can find value. Now, I'm not going to take the home team here tonight, but I'm not taking the Saints either. Where I'm locked in at is I'm going to look at the total. Now, first knee-jerk reaction, guys, you see what happened last week. Both teams involved in high-scoring games, so automatically people are going to look to take the over. But I think you're going to see a totally different game plan tonight. First of all, the Raiders moved the ball easily last week against Carolina. Let's not forget that Carolina has one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and they're learning a new system with the new head coach, Mark Rule. This is a spot where tonight, I think the Saints will run the ball more than throw the football. They're going to want to keep the Raiders' offense off the field and protect their own defense. Last week, they did put up points, but they were aided by 3 turnovers last week, including a pick 6. I think you're going to see more of a running game, and sometimes, guys, the best defense is a good offense. And Drew Brees, the days of chucking it downfield are not there. Look at the numbers he put up last week. We're going to see a lot of dinking and dunking from him in running the football. This team can run the football right down the throats of the the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, I knew I'd screw it up once per show. But guys, the other concern for the Raiders is they're going to have problems moving the ball when they have it as well. They've got some offensive line injuries, and that's key here. They're not going to be able to get the protection that they had last week. I think it'll disrupt their plays. I'm going under 48.5 in this one. Hope the Raiders get the win, but guys, home underdogs have not been what they used to be. Way back when, that was an automatic play in the NFL, Monday night home dog, Teddy. But Vegas has adjusted that, and we've seen a turn of events with the home dogs.
Well, yeah, I remember when I first moved to Las Vegas, my first football season out here was 1998, and I looked at I think it was a 20-year sample size. showing that Monday Night Football home dogs were covering at a 70% clip. And about 10 years later, when Monday Night Football home dogs weren't covering at a 70% clip very clearly, I'm like, I better do another study of this. And we went through in the decades. In the 70s, it hit like 80%. In the 80s, it hit like 70%. In the 90s, it hit like 60%. And since 2000, it's been no better than 50-50. And I think over the long term, when I did it the last time, it was in the 40% range on the home dog. So the markets had adjusted and continued to adjust, whereas the public were just still feeding those. And meanwhile, for a decade, because it hit 70% for so long, the trend line still looks good. Oh, Monday Night Football home dogs are 65% over the last 30 years. But for the last 10 years, it's been a dead trend. So that's one that stood out. That's me going off on a tangent. What I really wanted to ask you about, Marco, certainly from the injury reports screams under. The Raiders with their both starting tackles, the Saints with their starting center, Michael Thomas missing, potentially Ruggs missing for the Raiders as well. So the injuries point squarely towards the under. But as we saw yesterday, and as that right now, it feels like a lot of these offenses are ahead of the defenses, plain and simple. And we saw games flying over 10-5 to the over yesterday. 3 of the 5 unders were absolute nail biters, where you got lucky because you settled for a field goal at the end in scoring TDs. Are you instead of scoring TDs? Are you nervous about playing unders right now because of the way that the scoring has been, or is it just one of those deals? Well, yesterday was yesterday, and today's a new day.
You got to handicap each game on its own merit, but I will agree with you 100%. And to me, where I think the difference is, Teddy, is they didn't have the preseason, and these guys weren't really tackling at full speed. We're seeing tons of yards after the catch, broken tackles where a play that normally would be a 7 or 8 yard gain is turning into big chunk plays of 20+ yards because they're breaking that initial tackle. And that's where it's at. And let it go, because we're value guys. What's going to end up happening, Vegas is going to be quick to adjust because they know the public's going to keep pounding overs. The value is going to come the other way for us in the coming weeks as those defenses catch up.
Marco, I got a quick question for you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but given that you predicted the exact spread last week, I ask for a score now.
I actually have one for you, Prez. I've got the Saints winning 24-17.
Oh, there you go. So we got a cover and an under. He's Marco D'Angelo. Teddy Covers. You're watching Wager Talk today. Guys, hit that like button. Lots of love in the chat forum room, posting, blah, 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 blah. Marco, baseball, 2 bets we're going to talk about. First one, Philadelphia. Minus 155 versus Washington, a total of 9. Take that game apart.
Yeah, this one's simple. You've got Philadelphia that's fighting for a playoff spot. They currently hold the top spot for the wild card. And you've got a pitcher in Wheeler that has been solid all year long. 9 starts, all 9 starts, 3 runs or less. And this is a guy that goes 6+ innings. And he's facing Anibal Sanchez. This guy has just been a total wreck all year. He's got an ERA just under 7 and a whip of 1.73. And the last stat I'll throw at you guys in this one, Washington is just 9-27 against right-handers this season. It is the final week of the season. The only thing Washington has to play for is the role of spoiler. How excited are you to be spoiler when you're the defending world champs and you're out of everything right now? This is just a mail-it-in week for Washington. I'm on Philly.
And it's been nothing but Philly's money in this game. We've seen the open in the 135, 140 range. And right now, looking at the Wager Talk live odds screen, I'm seeing in the minus 150 range. But the game is getting two-way action. Who the heck's betting Washington and why right now? Is this one of these deals?
No idea.
Is this one of these deals that we talk about this a lot in the NFL in Week 17 and Week 16 and Week 17? We're the must-win teams, and the reason they're must-win is because they're mediocre. Is this, a mediocre Phillies team, and now they're being priced like a must-win team, and that's why we're getting action on the Nats? Or is this one of those deals that, hey, let the wise guys bet it, and I'm not going to worry about it?
It's a combination of both, Teddy, but I'll say one thing. In baseball, as compared to the other sports where you're getting those inflated numbers where you say just got to win, how many times do you use the phrase, well, a team's laying an inflated point spread and they're playing tight to the vest where they're playing not to lose instead of playing to win? They still win the game, but they don't cover the point spread. We're not dealing with a point spread in baseball. Philadelphia just has to win the game by whatever. And this Washington team, too often you see teams quit in baseball. Just a couple years ago, these very same Philadelphia Phillies, do you remember this September that they had? They were an absolute go against every single day, and Vegas could not put a number up high enough to slow down the action. And the wise guys just kept betting it and betting it and betting it and winning. And I'm not betting any part of Washington at all. I don't care how much value I'm getting with them.
Guys, I got a quick question. Teddy, you reminded me when you said to Marco, who would bet Washington? Carmine and I are partners in a Survivor contest at the Circa. It cost $1,000 to enter the contest. Somebody yesterday put Carolina on their Survivor ticket. Am I missing something? Is that a strategy? Like, do you want to just lose right away? Marco, anybody? Like, what?
I'm hoping that was a misclick because I wouldn't admit that I had Carolina on a Survivor ticket.
That said, certainly when you're playing these Survivor pools, it makes a lot of sense to find, if you're playing to win, proper contest strategy is avoid the good teams as long as possible.
Right.
You don't want to use your KC up week 1. You don't want to use your Baltimore up week 2. You don't want to use your Saints up week 3. So it's definitely a situation where they're paying attention in that regard.
I guess there's good news and bad news. The good news is that guy still has all these good teams left to go. The bad news is he's out. White Sox minus 108 versus Cleveland. The number on the total is 8. Marco, take it away.
Yeah, this will be a good game tonight. You got the White Sox coming off a weekend series in Cincinnati where they lost 2 out of 3. But guys, I'm a big situational handicapper, and that was a series where they were ripe for a letdown. They had just came off a 4-game series against the Minnesota Twins where they took 3 out of 4, and that gave them the lead in the AL Central. This is a spot where I look for them to bounce back. They're playing Cleveland. Both teams have something to play for. Cleveland's battling for the wild card while the White Sox are trying to hold off the Twins for first place. And they're sending a guy to the mound tonight that I like. He has been good in his Dane Dunning in his first few starts. His last 2 have been outstanding. He's given up just 1 run in 13 innings, and he's going to be facing a Cleveland Indian team that, let's face it, guys, most of the season, they'll have their outbreaks here and there. This is a team that it's a race to 3 runs in a game. I mean, they just don't hit the baseball, and facing a pitcher that they're going to be facing for the first time as a starter, that's a huge advantage to the White Sox pitcher, Dunning. I'm going to take this one. I like the White Sox. But I got to say, too, if you're looking to play the total, this is a total that I would also look at the under, guys. We're looking at an 8, and you could do a combination here of split your bet up. Go under first 5 and go under for the full game because you do get good pitching out of the bullpens with these guys. And I'll give you a stat on the Cleveland starter. His games have gone under the total for 15 of 20 starts the last 2 seasons, Savali. So you got 2 dominant pitchers that play to unders. I like the White Sox. I like the under. Pick your poison. I like both plays.
Yeah, and certainly Cleveland been I think the Indians are still the number 1 under team in all of baseball right now. And when you find these totals trends in MLB, you don't try to buck them. At least I don't, Marco. Yeah.
Not this year. I mean, there's teams that have such a characteristic to them, whether it's the Angels at home playing the overs, which I know the last couple didn't get there, but they have been a moneymaker all year, and Cleveland anywhere taking the under, and Minnesota's been a good under team as well.
Marco, I want to give you a huge shout out. Outstanding success with Bet On It. You, Gianni, and Kelly do such an amazing job. Second best on the internet. It's doing great, and you got one today. You're doing a full breakdown on the NFL game tonight.
Yeah, guys, it's Monday Night Football. We decided to go live with Monday Night Edition. It's a quick show, just 20 minutes. You're in and you're out, and we give you a ton of information. We broke down both games last week, as I did in detail here on you guys' show, and it's very popular. And guys, we had a good week with the picks on the show.
Yeah.
So always fun to come in on Monday after not only the free picks win, but when you have a winning week, yourself for your clients, that makes it triple the pleasure, because I'm happy because there's money in my pocket for my tickets, and then everybody that tailed is happy because they got money in their pockets too.
Marco, get the hell out of here, brother. You got a busy day. Thanks for joining us on Wager Talk today.
Always a pleasure, Teddy and Prez.
You don't need it. You could just bugger the hell off. Joe, get him out of here. Quick break.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Teddy Covers. How are you, dude? Who cares? Asked already. A big segment right now. We're going to go through what did you learn in the NFL Week 2. Before we get to that, I just want to make mention $9 Mondays at Sports Memo and Wager Talk. Anybody's plays for only $9. I've got a 5%er up tonight, bro, in the NFL game. Any new customer who's never purchased from either Sports Memo or Wager Talk, you buy one of the guys today, $9. We'll give you $25 back in wager bucks. You can do that at both websites, Sports Memo and Wager Talk. Get yourself an extra $50. 274 people watching the show live. Only 60 likes. Let's go, guys. Jen Rami, hit that like button. Glenn Elliott, Man Trance, Mike Hockey, Jimmy Gomez, Prince. That is a cool name. I like that you spelt it with a Y. Abby Jackson, Cristiano Gotti. I hope you're as handsome as Cristiano Ronaldo. Hit that like button, boys. Theodore, Ted. Oh, you don't like when I call you Theodore, right? Too many names?
Yeah, we're trying to. Only my mom gets to call me Theodore, and only when she's mad at me.
Okay, well, I'm always mad at you, but I am not your mom, thank God. No big game breakdown today. We're going to go through what did we learn in the NFL Week 2. I'm going to throw teams at you. You're going to talk about them. We're going to do this real quick, and we're going to start with the Atlanta Falcons. Wow.
So there's hope for the Falcons, despite the 0-2 start. Atlanta has an offense that's going to work, so they can still trade points with people. They're not a hopeless team right now.
What about the Cowboys?
The Cowboys continue to be something of an overvalued commodity in the betting markets. And when a team recovers an onside kick to get a win, that momentum doesn't always carry forward.
Yeah, and really an important win. They look all out of sorts. I'm with you on that. Teddy, the Cardinals, are they for real?
Yes.
Chargers put up a really impressive performance yesterday. I actually felt they deserved to win that game.
Well, they did deserve to win the game, but when your head Anthony Lynn's decision to punt on 4th and 1 right there in overtime against Kansas City, not the decision I would have made. I'll put it that way. Worth noting, Justin Herbert, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Anytime the QB comes in and the opposing team was preparing for somebody else, and there's no film on Herbert, nothing from preseason, nothing from, they had no idea what he was going to do. He played great, But lots of QBs come in off the bench or come in as surprise starter and play great. It's not always easy for rookies to match that up once opponents have film on them. So I'll pump the brakes on the Chargers a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think Taylor is going to be getting in anytime soon. Teddy, Green Bay Packers, top 5 team in the league?
Lynn announced this morning that once Taylor gets out of the hospital, he is their starting quarterback moving forward. So they don't want Herbert to get hurt. And they want him more comfortable in the offense than he was yesterday. So I think we will see Tyrod Taylor again. What was your question?
Green Bay, top 5, top 3 team?
No, who've the Packers beaten so far? Okay. They beat a bad Lions team and a Vikings team that I hope you ask me about. I'm not to take anything away from Green Bay, but beat a team that's give me one more win against someone that can play first before we anoint them as top 5.
Well, we're going to find out next week as they match up against New Orleans. Okay, Vikings. Wow. This team is a disaster right now. Kirk Cousins just can't get his act together.
Yeah, I crashed. I crashed my power rating after Minnesota after week 1, and I crashed it again after week 2. That whole division isn't very good. But Minnesota's problems are on both sides of the football, and that's not where you want to be. Not this year.
Yeah,
crashed.
Speaking about bad divisions, that NFC East, yikes. Buffalo Bills. Teddy, I think this team is for real. I think they're going to be tough to beat no matter who they play or where they play. And Josh Allen, my God, he played well.
Yeah, this is no surprise. The clients knew. The Bills over their season win totals, my big ticket this year, 2-0 so far. Their defense was not at their best yesterday. And the fact that in a poor defensive game, where, again, there was a long rain delay with a thunderstorm right after halftime, and Allen missed a couple of easy third down conversions, and all of a sudden Miami got some momentum, and it was a whole different game after that as a result. But the Bills were a team that wouldn't have won a game like that a year or 2 or 3 ago when their defense got gashed. I think Buffalo's Super Bowl contender. I've got them as a top 5 power-rated team.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Though let me pump the brakes real quick because the Super Bowl is Kansas City or Baltimore. Buffalo's a notch or 2 below that. So is Pittsburgh.
Eagles, dude. This is a team that looks like it's play against for a while.
Well, yeah. Now, so the question is, who do I discount more, the Vikings or the Eagles? Who's in more trouble? And I was trying to go back and forth. The answer is both. Philly got a bunch of guys back yesterday, and they still got gashed on both sides of the ball. Philly, like Atlanta, Philly's got some playmakers, but their offensive line is in shambles. Their defense is struggling, and I would anticipate the Eagles' problems are not getting solved anytime soon.
Yeah, and Teddy, the answer is Minnesota has it worse. They're in a division where one of those teams will actually be over 500. Eagles are in a division that's wide open. One more team, Seattle Seahawks. Teddy, I think this team could be the best team in all of football. I know you're talking Kansas City, Green Bay, not Green Bay, Kansas City, Baltimore. I think Seattle can beat anybody.
Sure, on any given day they could, but from a defensive standpoint, that's not a good defense. Seattle is an amazing quarterback making plays all over the field. I've got my question. And again, last night they played very well the first 2 weeks in these high-scoring games where the defense isn't getting stops. If your defense doesn't get stops, you're not a top. You're not a top team. Sure, Super Bowl contender, of course they are. They're an elite team in the NFC. But with a defense that is struggling the way that it is, I don't have Seattle in my top 5.
Oh my God, TJ hilarious. He writes, Prez, when are you going to get a new picture on WagerTalk? Took 5 minutes to realize it was you. Yeah, I got to get it done, man. I was young when I took that picture. Fair point. Boys, let's take a quick break. Andrew McGinnis and Hockey Talk right after.
Football is here, and the Gold Sheet, the nation's oldest sports betting newsletter, is back for its 63rd year, bigger and better than ever. Gold Sheet has a new, improved web-based, mobile-friendly format that includes all of the winning information you rely on with the easiest access ever. While the format is new, all of the features you are accustomed to are still there. That's right, analysis on every pro and college game, key release selections, updated power ratings on every team, point spread logs for all NFL and college teams, and all college football games through May 2021 will be included. To celebrate joining the WagerTalk family, we are offering our subscribers our best deal ever. Sign up for a season of any Gold Sheet product and get $200 in wager bucks as a bonus. Wager bucks can be used to purchase handicapping information from any of our 40+ experts on WagerTalk or sportsmemo.com. Head to goldsheet.com/WagerTalk for any subscription and bonus details.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and sportsmemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.
Welcome back to Wager Talk Today. Teddy Covers and the Prez breaking down the world of sports and sports betting for you on this Monday. And we're about to do a hockey segment. And I don't know jack squat about, I should say I don't know jack squat. I've been in Vegas since 98. You pick up some things about hockey, but in terms of handicapping hockey, I can't do it. I don't try to do it. I'll leave it to these guys. We're going to bring in Andrew McGinnis to join us. And a couple of old guys like me and Prez, it's good to have a young gun on the show. Prez, what do we got? About close to 50 years of sports betting experience between us. McGinnis is kicking our ass at this stuff. Go, Andrew. What do you got? Good to see you. Welcome to Wager Talk Today.
Thanks a lot for having me, guys. And first of all, next time I'm in Vegas, Teddy, we're going to a Golden Knights game together. We'll make it happen. We'll turn you into a hockey fan at least. So I appreciate you guys for having me on the show.
Andrew, brother, Teddy, stop for a second. Andrew, I got to point out, and this is to your credit, Teddy. Andrew and I did puck time at 11 a.m. today. He came on in a hoodie. He comes on to Wager Talk Today. He's wearing a shirt with a blazer, and he even had it ironed. We love you, dude.
I would definitely, it's the first time I'm on the show. I want to get invited back. So that's how you get invited back, hopefully. And looking forward to breaking down this game, guys.
Okay, well, let's go. Tampa Bay minus 150 against Dallas, a total of 5. I want you to break this game down, and then we're going to talk a few prop bets. Go ahead.
All right, so first and foremost, for myself, when I look at a playoff team, a team that's trying to make a run at the Stanley Cup, there's two things that I want to look at. Number one, goaltending. You have to have a hot goaltender, not an average goaltender, not a goaltender that's stealing a game or two, somebody that's out there consistently performing well. Right now, that is Anton Khudobin for the Dallas Stars. He seems confident. His teammates are having his back. The defensemen are playing great. He's making key saves at key times when they really need him to be there. And that's number one for me. Number two is depth of scoring. You look at sports like football. It's a fourth down, last play of the game. Chances are you're going to that top wide receiver. You look at NBA, when it's the last shot, look at Anthony Davis. You're going to go to your guy to hit that shot. In the NHL, I look for depth of scoring. I look for those third-line guys that nobody talks about to get the job done. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now from the Dallas Stars. They seem like they're an overall better full team. And the question for me now is, will the Tampa Bay Lightning's All-Stars be able to outshine the secondary scoring of the Dallas Stars? For me, guys,
Andrew,
yep.
No, I was going to say, you can even go further than that. I mean, this really comes down to Tampa Bay's power play. And obviously that's their best guys. But this is a power play that clicked all year and just really hasn't been able to do much the entire playoffs. They score on the power play. They win the game.
I agree. But, like I said, you look at in so many different sports right now, it's not about the amount of shots you're taking. It's about the dangerous scoring chances you're getting. Right now, Tampa Bay, during this playoff run, they're averaging about 33 shots per game right now.
Yeah.
Dallas barely even got that many shots. I think it was like, near 20 shots in the game, but they were all dangerous scoring chances. Guys, I'm going to be on Dallas this series. I love the plus price here tonight. And you can't argue with it. I mean, you look at their storyline. They played Colorado. They were underdogs there. And now you step into a series against Vegas. They were underdogs the whole way through that series. Now they're playing Tampa. Underdogs probably the whole way through this series. I like this Dallas team. I think they raised the cup. They're a really, really good story here for these interesting times in sports. But I'm taking a shot here on the over. And although I said goaltending is the way to go here in the playoffs, I don't think Tampa Bay can win a low-scoring game against Dallas. They're going to throw every single thing they can at the net tonight, and I think they'll be rewarded. And you look at Dallas, one of the lower-scoring teams on average during the entire season, guys, now actually leading this playoffs in the top 3 rankings for goals per game.
Andrew, I really like overtime in this game. You're going to get really good odds here, and I think you could make that bet pretty much straight through. I wouldn't be surprised at 1-1, 2-2. 2-2 will get a push on the over. I'm not with you on the over. I can't see both teams scoring that many goals. I do like overtime, though.
Yeah, Prez, I've just never been able to take myself to do an overtime bet. And you're just banking on such a scenario. Unless you're getting incredible odds, I can't do it. Yep. But I'm a prop bettor, so I do have a few props to get into if we're cool with that. But I wanted to say, we talk a lot on this show and on WagerTalk TV about using the term value. A guy like Johnny the Greek, he's always using that word, and we all have kind of a different perspective on how to use it. But I don't think it's fair to see this Tampa Bay Lightning team as minus 150 favorites or minus 130 favorites countless times after they've seen so much inconsistency. Right now, the Dallas Stars are the most consistent team. This is kind of a Teddy Covers wrong team favored, in my opinion.
Andrew, we only have a minute. Throw out some props, and then we got to take a quick break and bring Ralph Michaels on.
So I mentioned that Tampa Bay is going to be throwing every single thing they can at the net, and they've been getting a lot of shots on goal. Yeah. Most books do offer this, so you should be able to find this at your book. Over 31.5 shots is the prop bet here tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning. In order for them to be successful, they have to be aggressive, and they can't be too picky. As far as player props, I'm on Andre Palat to score, to get the job done from that, and to score a point at minus 110. I have Blake Coleman to score a goal, plus 325. And the last one is Rupe Hintz, my favorite Dallas Stars player, plus 325, most underrated player on the team.
I like Victor Hedman on the over in shots. Guys, Andrew, you were awesome, dude. Thank you so much for getting dressed up, looking so pretty, showing Teddy and I up. Get out of here, brother. Let's take a quick break. Ralph Michaels coming up.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Teddy Covers and the Prez, Wager Talk today. Thank you guys for joining us. Tom Hart, Brian, Josh G, Ultra Black Fish, interesting name, TJ, Goal, Glenn Elliott, Danzo, etc., etc. Teddy, it's Ralph Michaels time. I just sit back and learn. Ralph, how are you? How was your weekend?
Hey guys, doing great. Last 5 weekends, I had 4 winning weekends and 1 losing. I did have a losing weekend this past week. Had a couple college games canceled. Ended up pulling out an 0-2. But again, those happen. We talk all the time. I'd much rather be on a capper that has a proven record, getting them off a losing weekend. So keep that in mind for this upcoming college football Saturday.
That's fair enough, Ralph. Look, I'm frustrated. I had a winning weekend, but I lost my 2 5-percenters. I lost them both in punch you in the face fashion. So you walk around pissed off all day. for the next 24 hours or so. And in doing that, I made you run 2 queries for me. I had the Buffalo Bills yesterday. They gained 8.9 yards per play. I'm like, it's only happened 23 times since 1989 that a team gains 8.9 yards per play or more in the NFL. They got 18-4-1 ATS prior to yesterday. And then, of course, they outgained the offense by more than 3 yards per play yesterday. Teams that outgained their opponents by more than 3 yards per play, 228 and 25 at ATS. So I ran into a pretty long shot with Miami's back door yesterday. Left me frustrated. You, however, got some stuff that isn't primed to leave anyone frustrated for tonight.
Well, Teddy, should I worry about my job with you now running those queries? So, we'll see. Guys, the angle of the day, I'm not going to share anything with you because I want to use it as a teaching moment. The Tampa Bay Rays have gone under 8 straight road games. That says take Tampa Bay under. Jacob deGrom has a 2.09 ERA and a 0.93 whip. That certainly says lean to the under. But there are certain pitchers at certain times that just get support of a team. And deGrom was one of those guys that didn't get support the last few years. But the Mets are 8-1 over under his last 9 starts, averaging 7.3 runs per game run support. Teddy, do you buy into that? That a pitcher and a team get in a groove where if he's going, they're relaxed, they know they're going to get out of the field quick, they hit well in support for him?
Yes, definitely. These are the type of individual pitcher trends or team trends, particularly with totals, that tend to fly under the radar for months at a time. I do believe there's some validity to it.
And, the situational play of the day, I didn't know you guys were going to have Andrew on. So, I looked up some NHL because it is the Stanley Cup. And I looked at the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, the Lightning are now 16-3 off a loss. And 2 of those losses were in a 3-game stretch in February where they lost back-to-back games. So if you take out that 3-game stretch, which every team has in a season, you are basically 16-1 off a loss. And then I wanted to run a system as well. And now NHL playoff teams, when they scored 0 or 1 goals, losing as a favorite, and they're a favorite in the next game, have gone 76-33, 70% against the spread. So again, I've used one NHL play at WagerTalk all year. I'm a perfect 100%. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm undefeated in the NHL. Nope, take it with a grain of salt, guys. Just some NHL numbers for you to run out. All right, Prez, I need you to pay attention. It's is it current fact or myth time? You should always bet on Monday Night Home Dogs. Monday Night Home Dogs are gold. Bet on Monday Night Home Dogs. Throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, boy, you couldn't get through a Monday night game without hearing that. Currently true or currently false, guys?
Well, we did speak about that at the top of the show. It is currently false. Am I right?
Yeah.
Do I win? And we need music for this segment.
Actually, Prez, you are right and you are wrong. This is another teaching moment. Do you know that non-division home dogs have failed to cover the last 11 games? They are 0-10-1, like the Raiders are tonight. But Monday night divisional home dogs are 9-4-2 ATS, and also I'll throw in they're 2-12-1 over/under. So true and false for the Monday night. Non-division Monday night home dogs 0-10-1. Monday night division home dogs 9-4-2 ATS. So one statement can be both true and false when you break it down by divisional play.
Sure. Of course, the Raiders, not a divisional home dog tonight. And that's a trend that actually makes sense. Again, as we saw with the Chargers Chiefs yesterday, the divisional opponents that know each other well, it's harder to lay a price with teams like that. Just ask me. I laid with the Bills yesterday in another home dog situation. The divisional home dogs with that track record doesn't shock me. The non-divisional home dogs at 0-10-1 ATS, that stands out as well. That would mean Saints this evening.
And I've got one more I found for you guys. This is a situation that is specific just to week 2. And it hasn't happened that many times, so the sample size is small. Both teams were a favorite week 1, and now one of those teams is a home dog, like the Raiders. Going back to 2010, so we're talking 10 seasons, that angle is 12-1-1 against the spread, and it applied to the Raiders this week and the Chargers. So simply, if a team is a home dog and both teams were a favorite in week number 1, 12-1-1 ATS since 2010, and going back all the way to 1989, as long as the total is 36 or higher, there were some 33 totals where the system lost, 22-6 ATS since 1989.
When's the last time you think? When's the next time you think we're going to see a total of 33 or less in an NFL game, assuming no weather?
Well, that would be a first half bet now, right? With Mahomes and we may see it in the first half for Baltimore and KC next week on Monday night. Yeah, we're not getting back to 33s, guys. Now we see a 40, and it's like, oh my God, might this game to get to a 39? So times haven't changed in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, with that said, and I mean, we can't get into this now, but I think we're actually seeing a change. I don't want to say back, but I think we are going to see lower scores coming back again. I think you're seeing what some of the passing games, dink and dunks. Teddy, you want to give me an ugly look? You want to go, Teddy?
Not at the very end of our show. We've got a minute left and have to say goodbye to everyone. But to say, I think we're going to see lower scoring games after a day where the overs are 10-5 this week. We saw shootout after shootout. 3 of the 5 unders stayed under only because of a late field goal instead of a late touchdown. And even the crappy teams, even the Jaguars, have skill position talent that's better than Super Bowl winners from 3 decades ago. So I don't know that we're going to see the NFL games suddenly start to become lower scoring. I'm not sure.
Teddy, I have one question, Teddy, I want to ask you, and I'll watch tomorrow to get your answer. I know you're not doing much in baseball, but I want to know how you react to when a team has clinched, like the San Diego Padres have, after not having made the playoffs. They clinched on Sunday. They had a day off. How do you approach those teams when they restart their next game? But I'll watch tomorrow to get that answer from you.
I can tell you right now, I don't bet on any team that just clinched.
Well, there you go. You got your answer now, Ralph. Okay, boys, great show. Ralph Michaels, we absolutely love having you with us. Guys, check Ralph Michaels, Matt Joseph, and my show out 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. That is the NFL Presidential Address. Ralph, we had over close to 15,000 views on that show last week. It was highly received, largely because of you. So a big shout out to you for doing that with us. Teddy, take us home.
Sure. Stay tuned for my opening line report with Drew Martin coming up at the top of the hour. I want to thank Ralph Michaels. I want to thank Andrew McGinnis. I want to thank Marco D'Angelo, and I want to thank you, our viewing audience. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with Prez and I. We'll be back again in 23 hours and 5 minutes right here on WagerTalk Today. Enjoy the games, and good luck tonight.
Every Monday is $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com. Get any best bet or daily package for only $9.